ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the special town meeting of October 6, 2021. If you could please stand and pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Madam Town Clerk, if you could read the call, please.
Notice is hereby given of a special town meeting of the Town of East Lyme to be held on October 6, 2021 at 7 p.m. at the East Lyme Town Hall Upper Meeting Room for the following purposes. 1. To consider and act upon a special appropriation in the amount of $126,053 for the following items, with the source of funds being America Rescue Funds. $54,638 Ledge Light Health District, $25,000 East Lyme Giving Garden, $8,965 Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments, $12,500 Save the River, Save the Hills Pump Out Boat, $13,950 American Legion, $9,000 VFW, $2,000 New London Homeless Hospitality Center. 2. To transact any other business proper to come before the meeting. Dated at East Lyme, Connecticut, the 28th day of September, 2021. And this was recorded in the town clerk's office, advertised in the day paper, and posted on the signpost.
Thank you, Madam Town Clerk.
You're welcome.
As usual, we'll go over the ground rules for a town meeting. Under Connecticut General Statute 7-6, you must be an elector of the town or 18 years of age, a U.S. citizen, and own property on the grand list of 10-121 in the amount of at least $1,000. Under Connecticut General Statute 9-360, anyone that votes that should not have voted could be subject to the following. 1, a fine of not less than $300, no more than $500, imprisonment of not less than 1 year, no more than 2 years, disenfranchised, or all the above. If you wish to speak, please come up to the podium and give your name and address for the record. If you are not eligible to vote but you wish to speak, please make that fact known before you address your meeting. Do not conduct a dialogue amongst yourselves. Please address any questions through the moderator. You may approve an expenditure, you may disapprove an expenditure, you may reduce an expenditure, but you may not increase an expenditure. I will appoint the registrar as teller and checkers if we need him. And we will now take up the first item on the agenda, which is to consider and act upon a special appropriation in the amount of $126,053 for the following items, with the source of funding being the American Rescue Fund. $54,638 Ledge Light Health District, $25,000 East Lyme Giving Garden, $8,965 Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments, $12,500 Save the River, Save the Hills Pump Out Boat, $13,950 American Legion, $9,000 VFW, $2,000 New London Homeless Hospitality Center. Do I hear a resolution?
So moved.
Mr. Siri, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Daigle. Okay, would anyone like to be heard? Mr. First Selectman.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. My name is Mark Nickerson, town's first selectman. Thank you, good citizens of East Lyme, coming out tonight. I heard there's some special interest in the room, and I'm glad. That's good to come out and support. And if you have opposition, that's good too, because that's good government. We are receiving, I believe, $5.4 million of American Rescue funding. This represents 126,000, a couple percentage points of what we'll be receiving from what we've already received, 50% from the feds. The Board of Selectmen is acting as the town's committee who will decide upon those fundings. We see these as immediate needs, not things that are more grand and more big picture. We find that these are immediate needs and we wish to address them immediately. Ledge Light Health District and the Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments both have supported this town through the pandemic. Were my my resource as I tried to guide this town in making decisions and how it affected our employees and our citizens in this town throughout the pandemic, and they will continue to help with the recovery. And God help us any further variants. The East Lyme Giving Garden is a great organization that has bloomed. I did that on purpose. It bloomed. I'm glad you're listening. Volunteers with a plot of land that was donated out at Flanders, and they are growing food that is sustainable, that is locally grown, that is organic, I believe. And that food is being given to our food lockers, our people in need. People in need, that is the central theme here. Save the river, save the hills. I heard there's a few people here with an interest in that. We are contributing toward the pump-out boat replacement. It's needed. We have a deal with Waterford. We're going to pay 50% of the match. They're paying 50% of the match, and I think DEP and the state and local donations as well will make up the difference. We needed a pump-out boat. I understand that. I'm relieved that we're going to be able to get this done, and I'm sorry that it took so long, but here we are, and we're asking for your support on that tonight in this package. American Legion and VFW both go out of their way to help veterans in our town in so many different ways. And there's a variety of things they've listed, and they're not asking for handouts, and they're not asking for, hey, we didn't get to do our fundraiser this year, give us money. No, they're asking specifically, can we have this money so we can deliver the goods to our veterans in our town? And lastly, the New London Homeless Hospitality Center. Our town does give money already to the New London Homeless Hospitality Center. We don't have social services in East Lyme. We rely on the social services in Norwich and New London to fill those voids, to fill that gap. You know that. So we do contribute toward that. We do have a population in our homeless center over New London that come from East Lyme. You have to remember that. That does happen. So we are asking for a very small portion to support that. I ask for your support on all this. The Board of Selectmen, our town attorneys, we're looking at the requirements of the American Rescue funding, and there's stringent requirements. And we are making very, very, we think, intelligent, well thought out decisions on where to spend this money. It's still our money. It might be coming from Washington, D.C., but we paid them, and we're getting some of it back, but we want to use it appropriately and efficiently and make sure we're doing recovery in the right way. We think we've done that. We ask for your support tonight. Thank you.
Would anyone else like to be heard on this matter? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Deb Mosier-Dunn. I'm the Vice President of Save the River, Save the Hills. I am not an East Lyme resident. We do own real estate here. My husband would be able to vote, but I can't because it's in his name, the real estate we have here. Rent a space, we own rent a space. So I will not be voting, but I want to read this. Save the River, Save the Hills has requested $12,500 from the town of East Lyme, as well as $12,500 from the town of Waterford for a shared percentage with DEEP for a new boat for our 20-year-old pump-out program. We are in desperate need of a new boat. This past season, it was necessary to use our 20-year-old retrofitted backup boat as an emergency vessel due to the loss of our main pump-out boat, which was deemed inoperable or unseaworthy by our insurance company due to a partial sinking while it was at dock in the fall of 2020. DEEP has allowed us to use the old vessel only on a temporary basis. We have received estimates for a new pump-out boat of around $100,000. We've seen higher than that, and we saw one around $80,000, but the boat will have to have specifications to allow it to not only be in the Commer River, but also in the Nyack Bay, which is part of the territory that our boat services. The $12,500 will be used as a required match for the DEEP 75% funding of the program, of the new boat. The boat manufacturers are asking for 50% upfront and 50% when delivered. So the town monies will be used to help us get the boat at the beginning. And Save the River will be matching that. the two towns' donations will allow us to order the boat, and the matching Save the River, Save the Hills donations and memberships funds will pay into that as well. For your consideration, the Save the River, Save the Hills pump out program staff have collected over 25,000 gallons of sewage from boats on the Nyack River and Bay during the COVID seasons. So the last in 2020 and 2021, and we're not done yet for this year. Our service continues to be free for any boaters in the Nyack Bay or river. Our communities are blessed by the wonderful Nyack River estuary for fishing, swimming, and skiing and all related boating experiences. Save the River, Save the Hills pump out program has been instrumental in helping to keep the Nyack River healthy for the towns of East Lyme and Waterford and the whole entire region. Indeed, Fred Grimsey's persistence in creating this program 20 years ago allowed DEEP to close the entire coast of Connecticut to dumping, as the Nyack embayment was the last to have a pump out program. Please help us in keeping this critical program alive, and thank you to the town for continuing to be strong advocates for the health and safety of the Nyack River. And it's signed the whole board of Save the River, Save the Hills.
Thank you, Ms. Mosher Dunn. Would anyone else like to be heard? Seeing no hands, then we'll move the question. All those in favor of a special appropriation in the amount of $126,053 for the following items, with the source of funding being the American Rescue Fund. $54,638 Ledgely Health District, $25,000 East Lyme Given Garden, $8,965 Southeastern Connecticut Council of Governments, $12,500 Save the River, Save the Hills pump out boat, $13,950 American Legion, $9,000 for VFW, $2,000 for New London Homeless Hospitality Center. Please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed by saying nay. The resolution carries. That's the only item on the agenda tonight, so that I want to entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Chair, is there a second? Kevin and Mark. All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned.